All right. So moving on, let's talk about HSIL. Now, the sanitary ware companies have been in the news for quite some time now, especially since the Friday. The stocks have been on a roll for this particular company, HSIL, that we are talking about. Even Stera Sanitary Ware was trading up in the green. Now, this is the third consecutive session for HSIL. It is up close to 4% at this point in time. Earlier in the morning, it was up about 7% or so. Now, the news is that BJP's prime ministerial nominee has reiterated his promise on improving the sanitation system in the country. Now, that is what is looking like as the key possible trigger for this particular company and the stocks in this sector moving up in the green. We are now joined by Mr. R.B. Kabra, president at HSIL, to understand the reason why stock is spiking. Many thanks, Mr. Kabra, for joining us here on NDTV Profit. We are seeing the shares of the sanitary sector in particular spiking since last 3 sessions. Is it just on the hopes of a improvement in the sanitation system, or there is something else?
No, there is both things mixed here, because if you see the last 3 quarters or last 1 year of this business, every company has been growing 20% plus, and the fear which was there in everybody's mind that the realty sector is going under recession and this sector could hit the growth path, which is not correct. Actually, the restriction on the expenditure in terms of sanitary ware and housing has not been reduced. That is why the business has been growing. That is number one. So people have faith that the business will continue to grow, and reasons for that is many. Basically, the sanitation level in the country is very, very low currently. Only 40% of the people have access to sanitation. And people are aspiring to go, anybody who has been using bathrooms, they have been aspiring to go for the better bathrooms, aesthetically better looking products. So replacement market is also growing up. And of course, the buoyancy by the statement of Prime Ministerial candidate of NDA, Mr. Modi, stating that they will be having thirst on improving the sanitation. And one of his statement which he made few months ago, stating the toilets before temples, which really means that he really means what he talks about, increasing sanitation levels. So I personally feel that at least for 20 years, anybody in this sector, which is the sanitation or tiles or sanitary ware, will continue to grow regularly more than 20%.
Can you tell us how did the 4th quarter go for your company, especially in terms of the building products division and the container glass division?
Yeah, the building product division, the 4th quarter has been, growth has been as per the guidelines, what we had given earlier at the beginning of the year. And the year will be closing more or less very close to the guidelines. The glass business, of course, has been suffering for last 1 year. And similar has been the situation in Q4. But in terms of profitability or the realization, if you talk of, we have done a lot of work in improving the cost structure in the glass business, because of which the performance of the division will substantially improve. I cannot talk of the numbers because the board meeting for the Q4 has not yet been done. And so I'm not in a position to divulge the numbers. But what I can say is, yes, for the building product, the business for the Q4 has been good as per expectation. And glass also has improved quite a lot because of the lot of thirst on the cost parameters.
Right. Mr. Kabra, I'm still trying to understand how your company stands to benefit if there is a thrust by the government to perhaps make more toilets or improve sanitation conditions in the country. Your thrust so far has been on premiumization of your brands. You said that the replacement market is strong. You're talking of people, spending on sanitary ware in their own personal capacity. How will things change if the government gives a push to sanitary, better sanitation in the country? How will it benefit your company?
Yes, I will answer it in 2 parts, especially if you talk of the people at a very low level where they just want to use the basic sanitary products. We will not be directly benefited because of that immediately, because they go for the basic products which we are currently not manufacturing. But I will tell you on the other hand that in the tier 2 and tier 3 cities, there is a lot of moneyed people which cannot use aesthetically designed better sanitary ware, not for lack of money, but because there is no sanitation, there is no sewerage connectivity there. So there is a big population in tier 2 and tier 3 cities. To them, if sanitation and the sewerage connectivity is provided, they are willing to spend a lot of money on the products which we are marketing. Coming back to the earlier one, the people who will go for the basic products will certainly upgrade over a period of time, maybe after 6 years, 7 years, and when they go for the replacement cycle, they will certainly use better products, and then we will get benefited with that.
Right. What is your production capacity? What is your utilization rate?
The production capacity in sanitary ware business is currently 3.8 million pieces of ceramics, and the current utilization for this fiscal has been around 85-86%, and the remaining capacity will be used over a next period of 2 years. We are in the now process of putting up a new greenfield sanitary ware plant in Gujarat with a capacity of 1.2 million pieces, which should be operational in next 3 years to take care of the additional demand which will be coming after 3 years. This is on sanitary ware. Coming back to the faucets, we currently have a very small capacity of 500,000 pieces in Bhiwadi, Rajasthan. And we started work 1.5 years ago on a very large greenfield faucet plant having a capacity of 2.5 million pieces. The trial runs in the plants are going on, and we are sure that latest by next month this plant will be commissioned. The phase 1 will be commissioned of this plant, and it will reach its capacity by end of this year.
So you also mentioned that your building products division would be, the numbers would be as per the guidance. Could you give us the growth outlook for this particular fiscal as well as the growth potential that you see in the industry, like you mentioned, over the next 20 years? All right, so we are just trying to get Mr. Kabra back. So there he was talking about they are going to open a new plant which will be operational in about 3 years from now. This particular stock, just to tell our viewers once again, has been on a roll since last 3 consecutive sessions. The reason being given is that everybody is hoping for a stable government, and clearly after
He still doesn't explain. He said that we've all had, all the other players in this market, the organized sector, have had good growth, and they are projecting a 20% growth for this, 18-20% for the coming year as well. If it is so stayed, why is the stock performance so high? Because I'm sure the stock performance is factoring in a better growth. What of course remains to be seen is whether they can, cobble up that much capacity to be able to, to even provide for that. They are also into importing of, the faucets, and they have, a lot of effort has been on premiumization. So, like he mentioned, they do not even manufacture the low-end products, which is
That's
largely
right. But like he mentioned, that tier 2
business.
and tier 3 cities is something that they would be looking at, and then those who've already brought whatever stuff they'll be selling, they'll be looking forward when the replenishment, replacement is going to happen. Absolutely. I guess we have the management back with us now. Mr. Kabra, if you can hear us, I was asking you about your growth outlook for this particular fiscal. You said in your fourth quarter you will be able to meet the guidance given, especially in your building products division. So what's your growth outlook now?
The growth outlook for this year, which ended on March 14, we had given 20% growth forecasts, and as I mentioned, we will be very close to that. Coming back to the year 14-15, for the building products, we had given guidance of 25% growth in revenue and margins. The reason for this is that this new faucet plant, which I just mentioned, will go on stream, because of which we will generate an additional revenue of around 100 and 150 crore rupees. That will come this year. So that is the reason that in place of 20%, we had given the growth targets of 25%. Glass business this year we expect to grow anywhere between 10 to 15%, and that is based on certain new products which we are developing for the new sector of customers.
Are you looking forward to any particular strategy for this particular year to increase the market share also?
Yes, we are launching more and more premium products in the building product business, and so is for the faucet business, because there is a tremendous demand from the premium products coming from all parts of the country, and we will also be increasing our distribution reach. Currently, our products are available in all the towns where the population is 1 lakh plus, and our target this year is that we should be available in any part of the town where the population is 75,000 plus, either through direct dealers or through sub-distributors. So that will give us bigger reach. We will also be launching some new products in this year, which are currently not in our portfolio, but those are being sold through the same distribution channel.
So can you give us more details on what these new products are? And also, can you tell us what the margin profile is going to be like? You said that you are expecting building products margins to be around 25%. The glass business has not been profitable. So overall margins, where will the growth come from?
Yeah, when I said these margins will grow 25% will be for the building product business, because the margins grow in line with the growth in the revenue. For the glass business, if you see the Q3 was much better than Q2, because as I mentioned, we did a lot of work on controlling our cost on power and fuel, because that is the largest part of the cost of production. In glass business, the power and fuel cost is anywhere between 36 to 40% of the cost of production. We have done a lot of work to conserve our fuel consumption, to use some alternate fuels which are relatively cheaper, and because of which we have seen the power cost and fuel cost going down by 400 basis points, and because of which we will see the EBITDA percentage growing and the business not running into losses going forward.
All right, Mr. Kabra, many thanks for joining us here on NDTV Profit and giving us an outlook for your company for the current fiscal. Thank you so much. Moving on, let's take a look at how the European markets are doing at this point in time. Earlier